Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. And I know a lot of you have been patiently waiting for me to do a tutorial on this really gorgeous wedding set that I had made. I'm going to do this in 3 videos because I want to show the detail of the necklace, the bracelet, and the earrings. So these will be all 3 separate videos. I'm not sure how long this necklace is going to take me to show you how to do, so this may be in 2 parts, as a lot of my videos are now ending up being in 2 parts because of that. One thing to keep in mind, I'm going to show you this video in the white pearls, but you can use this in you can make this in whatever color pearls you want. It doesn't specifically have to be a wedding set. It could be a beautiful summer set. You can make it with pink pearls and purple bicones. You know, it's endless what you can do with this necklace. I personally made it just for a wedding set because I thought it would be simply gorgeous for that. So this is, I'll give you a little bit up close of it. This is the bracelet. And I did use a fancy closure, which is a filigree closure, which I did get these from Michael's. And the bracelet is absolutely stunning on. Okay, so you can, like I said, you can have this just for a nice summer bracelet, wear it with a white shirt, white top, and wear it out. It's simple like that. So in terms of materials, it does require, it doesn't look like a lot of materials in here, but it is, okay? But I'm just going to go based on the necklace today. So I'm not going to tell you to get all the pearls for the bracelet and the earrings, because the bracelet and earrings are basically the exact same thing here. What you see here in this necklace, I may be showing you this a little bit differently here. I didn't really care for this bib part, so we're going to work on something a little different here, because this is just kind of crowded and I just don't like the looks of it. So we're going to fix this up. It's still going to be beautiful, but we will change this up just a wee bit in here. Alright, so for supplies, you are going to need 8mm, 6mm, and 4mm pearls. Okay? I can't even begin to tell you how many that are in here. You're just going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 times 6, 24. So in the necklace, this is a regular length. So in the 6mm, you will need 48 in the 6mm, 48 pearls. In the 4mm, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing, 48. And in the 8mm, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait. 2, 3, 4. So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 8mm pearls for this necklace. Now for the Swarovskis, it's all going to depend on how many Swarovskis you put in this bib part of your necklace. So you're going to need about the same amount for each section. So in the 4s millimeters, you're going to need 3mm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't even want to go on counting because it's pointless. You'll need lots, believe me. I did have it all figured out and I don't know where I put that. So those are the pearls that you're going to need, and you can use this, like I said, in any color you want. It doesn't have to be white. And in the Swarovskis, you will need a 6mm, a 4mm, and a 3mm. And I'm working with all one color again. So I'm going to work with the pink because this is the one I have the most in. You will need some Fireline or Nymo or Ceylon, Superlon, whatever it is, Ceylon thread. I really don't have a lot of Fireline left, so I am just going to finish off what I have left for Fireline and finish the rest of my bracelet or necklace in Nymo thread. You will need 2 wire protectors, sorry, 4 wire protectors, because the closure takes 2 on each side. And these closures here, I bought them in packages of 4 from Michaels. You're going to need some white Super Duos, or whatever color you're making. I'm showing you this in white. And you will need some pearl 15-0s. These are pearl finish on the 15-0s, so you will need some of those. So let me get all my materials laid out here for me, and we'll come back and we'll get started on the necklace. Okay? Okay, so now you have everything. I have everything laid out, ready to go here. And before I start, we're working with our 4mm pearls and our 3mm Swarovskis. And as I go and make each component, I always pick my 4 pearls and I check my Super Duos to make sure that every single hole is open on my Super Duos. Okay, so you're going to need 4 of each. You're going to need 4 pearls, and you're going to pick up 1 of each at a time. So 1 pearl, 1 Super Duo, 1 pearl, 1 Super Duo, and so on, like this, until you pick up all 8 of these beads on your needle. Okay, bring those down, leaving yourself good 6-inch tail. It's meant just don't tie any knots, because we're going to be going through all of these, and it's going to be pretty difficult if you have a bunch of knots all in here. So let's not do that right now. So you're going to work from your tail back up and go through all 8 of these beads again to form a ring. So pull this and your tail together, and then you're just going to pick your work up and go through the first pearl to close your ring nicely like that. Okay, so this is what you should have. Now you're going to pick up a 15, a 3mm, and a 15 on your needle. Your pearl, you're exiting out of your pearl towards your, you should be towards your a Super Duo. So turn your work to make sure it's exiting out of the Super Duo. Now you're going to go directly across, and you're going to go in this pearl beside the Super Duo. So you're going to go, you're exiting here, put your needle here so you know it's the ones that are going, you're going to make an X. So go into the pearl this way. Exiting here, drop down, exit your pearl that, through your pearl that way, okay? So I'm just going to pick this up because I can't do it on the mat. And we're going to pull this so it sits on top. Now, in order to get exiting out of this pearl here, because we already went through these 2 and we want to make an X, all you're going to do is go up through the Super Duo and through that next pearl and pull your thread tight, nice and tight. Now you're going to drop down and go through the 15, the Swarovski crystal, the 15, pulling it, making an X, and now you're going to exit through this pearl here and the Super Duo. So that made you an X, tightened up your component, and sat your Swarovski crystal on top like that. And that's exactly what you're looking for. So now you have an up and down. These are this will determine your bottom, top, your sides. Now you're exiting out of this. You want to drop down and get into this bottom one. This is what we're going to call the bottom one. So you want to go into that Super Duo, keeping your work pulled nice and tight, no knots. Okay, keeping this sitting on top. Don't let it fall in the middle there. So keep your component pulled tight. Then you're going to pick up 2 15-0s and you're going to drop down into the next hole of your super duo. Okay? Pick up 2 more 15-0s on your needle and go back through the bottom hole of your super duo. So you're just making a circle, adding 2 15-0s in here, like that. Okay? So this is the bottom. Remember, your Swarovski's sitting up, should be up top of your component. So you may have to play with this first component. Now you're going to go back through these 2 15-0s in your bottom there, and through your super duo at the bottom. Now you're going to pick up 4, 1, 2, 3. You're going to pick up 4 15s, a 3mm crystal, and 4 more 15s on your needle. So this is what you should have. You're going to make a circle by going through just the super duo, back through it this way here, and put those in place. Now you're going to reinforce this little circle you just put on. So you're just going to go right back through those 4 beads, like that. Your 4 beads, your crystal, and your 4 beads. And pull that tight. Now you're going to go back through your super duo like that and work your way back up. Now you're going to go through these 2. You got to stay within your thread path. So go through the 2 on the side of your super duo there and back through a pearl, like so, and back through a super duo. So now you're on to the side, and for some reason this has fallen in, and it's just because the component is not tight enough, because I still have a tail loose. You don't want this to fall in. Okay, so you've done your bottom. You can adjust it here, make sure it's sitting nice and straight. Like so. Alright. And now you should be exiting out of the side super duo here. So you would have come up through here. I'm gonna show you this again, but now you want to exit out of the second hole of the super duo. And now we're going to make another component and attach another 4mm component. So let me pick 4 pearls and 4 super duos. Make sure all the holes are open. Actually, you don't need 4, sorry. So the first thing you need to do is, because this is going to be acting as one of your super duos, you're going to pick up 1 pearl, 1 super duo, 1 pearl, 1 super duo, 1 pearl, and 1 super duo, and 1 pearl. Now, on your needle you can see I only have 3 super duos, but this is our 4th one here. We're attaching it to that. So you should still have 4 pearls with no super duos on either end of it. Just the 3 in the middle. Pull that down and go back through that super duo, making a circle. You see? We've just made our second component. Now, you can reinforce this if you want, but don't go through it too many times because you are going to be running through this again. So I'm just going through all these beads, and I'm going to exit out of the pearl just beside the super dual. So there, my component is nice and tight on there. Alright, so now you're exiting up and down again. Make sure you stay in the right pearls. Your Swarovski is this way, so pick up a 15, a crystal, a 15. You're going to go across again, only you're going to exit or enter into the bead right beside your super dual there. So go across, exiting here, go across and enter this way. Okay? Without making a loop. And sit that on top. I've already entered into the super dual, so now I just need to go into this pearl here and go back through this 15-0, 3mm, and 15-0, pulling it nice and tight, and then through this pearl here, because this is the one we haven't gone through. We went through this one, we started in this one, and go this way, and that's done. So now exit through the pearl and the super dual. So you're back at the bottom of your work, and you're going to repeat this dangle right here. Okay, so pick up 2 15s, go into the top hole of your super dual, working just out of the bottom. Make sure you're working out of your bottom super dual so you don't have some up here and some down here. Pick up 2 more 15s, go through the bottom of your super dual, like so. And now you're going to go through these 2 15s that you strung on first, like so, and through the bottom of the super dual, or yeah, the top hole, bottom hole, and exit that way. Now you're going to pick up 4 15mm, a crystal, and 4 15mm, or 15-0 seed beads. Sorry, I don't know why I call them 15mm. So this is what you should have. Exiting out of your bottom hole, just make a circle and come back through your super dual, and don't catch the 15-0s like that one wants me to, and just go through the super dual and pull that nice and tight. Now you're just going to go through this one time, so go through the first 4 beads just to reinforce it, through the crystal, and through the 4 beads, and then back through your super dual. Okay, pull that nice and hanging down so it stays nice and straight. Go back up now through the 2 15s, through the super dual, through the pearl, and pull everything nice and snug. Make sure these are standing up nicely. Okay, now you're going to go through the super dual on the side. We're on the side now, like so. And now we're going to exit out of the other end of the super dual. Okay, so this is how you're going. I'm just going to do a sample piece. I'm not going to make a whole entire necklace. I want to do a sample piece because I don't have enough crystals to do a whole one, and I'm not going to go buy any just to do a tutorial. Because I'm already overstocked in beads, believe me. You might want to just bring your needle through your 3 pieces on top, making sure they stay on top of your your piece. So now we're done with working with, so say you've done your 6, you want to do 6 of these components in the 4mm, right? So you're done those. Now you're going to work with your 6mm pearls. So let's take a few pearls here. And you're going to work with your 4mm Swarovski crystals. Because we're kind of done with these right now. Okay, so we're working with our 6mm pearls and our 4mm crystals. Now, you're still going to pick up 3 of your super duos in this, and you're going to still pick up 4 pearls. Okay, so let's just move these out of the way. So on your needle, you're exiting here. These guys out of the way. You're exiting here. Pick up 1 6mm pearl, 1 crystal, 1 6mm, or 1 crystal, so sorry. 1 super duo, 6mm, a super duo, and 6mm. So I have 4 6mm and only 3 super duos, and none on each end, because this is going to act as one of our super duos. So again, you're making a circle. I'm exiting this way, so I'm going to just put my needle and exit the same way my thread's exiting and make a circle. Now you definitely want to, as your pearls get bigger, you definitely want to go through them and reinforce one time around. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. So I'm going through this super duo where we attached them. Now you're just going to exit through the next pearl beside it. Okay, so you're in position to start everything, and all your thread, if you follow this exact way I'm doing it, your needle will always end up where you want it to be, in the direction you want it to be in. Okay, so now you're exiting here, and again we're going to just do the same thing we did here with the crystals. Only this time we're going to be picking up 2 15-0s. So pick up 2 15s, 4mm crystal, and 2 15s. Okay, you want them to be going across this way, so you want to enter your pearl beside your super duo here, exiting this way. We're exiting towards it. So always remember when you're doing this that you're entering and exiting right, you're always exiting beside this super duo. So you're going to put your needle across and go into the pearl in that way, so that all your stuff sits on top like that. Okay, so go through the pearl. Okay, then you're going to go through the super duo and the next pearl, pulling tight. You're going to come around and go back up through all 5 of these beads like that, and back through this pearl now, because you went through this one, you're going to go through this one, pulling it nice and tight and placing that on top. So now you're going to go exit through your super duo on the side where you joined them. Okay, through the pearl and back. You are back at the bottom of your work where you want to be. Pull this all nice and tight, and your stuff will, your little embellishment will sit perfectly on top like that. Okay, now we're going to embellish this the same way we did with the 4mm. These ways, you're going to pick up 2 15s, drop down, go into the next hole of the super duo that you're in, exiting in. Make sure you're on your bottom. If not, weave your needle all the way around in a circle and get in that bottom hole there. And now you're going to pick up 2 more 15s and go back through the hole you originally came out of. And that super duo like that. Now you can skip this part and not put these in right now. You can come along and do it later, but I like to finish this as I go, because then you're going to look at it and go, oh god, I have to go through all those now and start all over again. So it's best to just do them as you go. Now you're going to drop down again into your 2 15s you first put on and back through this super duo in the very tip of it there. And now you're going to do the same thing. Pick up 4 15s, 1 4mm crystal, and 4 15s on your needle. Make a circle. But it wants to snag that 15-0, so I've got to find a way to push it out of the way without my needle going through it. It will stop. Okay. Now you want to make a circle, so go back. There we go. And don't catch that 15-0 like I keep doing. And pull. Okay, so now you have this. You're going to work your way around to reinforce your little embellishment there, or dangle. So go through the first 4 15s you put on. Pull it snuggy. Through the 4mm bicone. And back up through these 4. And back through your super duo. Okay. Now you're going to go back up these 2 15s on the side of your super duo. If it allows me. And back through the bottom. And back through your 4mm or your 6mm pearl and back through that super duo. And you could probably do it all in one pass. And then you want to straighten up your little dangle here before you pull that thread super tight. So that's that part done. Your 4, your 6. Now we're going to do an 8. So let's get 4 8s and 3 super duos. Making sure all my holes are open. See, that one's not open. And we need 1 more. Alright. Now you're exiting out of your super duo on the side, so drop down or go into the next hole like that. Pick up an 8mm, super duo, 8mm, super duo, 8mm, super duo, and an 8mm. Again, we only have 4 pearls and 3 super duos. Nothing on each end, because this is the piece here that's going to make the 4th one. You're exiting out of this hole here. You're going to go through and make a circle like that and pull that nice and tight. Now you're going to go through here all the way around and reinforce this, especially the 8mm. This is very flimsy. Okay, again. Alright, I've gone all around once, and now we're going to go through this pearl here. So we're going to be exiting here where we want to be in the middle. Pulling it tight. Now we're going to need some 6mm Swarovskis. And now for this one here, we only picked up still 2. Okay, 1 sec. Those are 15s. And those are 11-0s. Oopsies. Okay. I forgot, we need 11 O's. I'm going to go get my 11 O's in the exact same as the pearls. The 15 O's in the pearl finish. So I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I will mention it. I put a little bubble in there when you're doing your materials at the beginning of this, and I mentioned all the materials that you needed. I will put a bubble in to let you know that you need the 11 O's as well. So we're back here again, exiting out of our pearl here. Okay, you're going to pick up two 11 O's in the same pearl finish as your 15 O's, and a 6mm crystal, and two 11 O's. Again, you're going to exit your needle. You're going to go across like so, and you're going to exit your needle in this pearl going this way. Try not to get my hands in the way. So you're exiting that way. Seems confusing. Alright, so do this and pull that on top. Now exit through the super duo and the next pearl only, because now you're in position to go back through your 2 11s, your 6mm, your 2 11s. So you exited out of your pearl that way. Now you're going to go into the next pearl and exit this way. And all you did was just make yourself a big X. Now pull that nice and snug, and it should sit on there perfectly. Okay, like that. Now you're going to drop down into your pearl and into your super duo. Like that. Into the super duo. Ouch. And same thing for this one. You're going to do exactly the same as what you did with these by picking up two 15s. Drop down into there, into that hole. Pick up two more 15s and go back through the super duo in the bottom there. You're just going around in a circle but working over the two holes. Okay, now you're going to go down into these two 15s that you first put on here. Maybe. I'm trying to do this in a way that you guys can see what I'm doing, so I'm having trouble doing it that way, but I'll get it. And pull your needle through those two 15s, through the bottom super duo, and pull it nice and tight. Okay, tighten it back up. Now you're going to pick up four 15s, a 6mm crystal, and four 15s. Now you can use rounds. You can use round crystals. If you don't have the bicones, you can use round ones. They don't have to be bicones. And then you're going to go through, back through the super duo without snagging the 15-0 in your pass there. Okay, turn your work and go back through the four 15s like that, just reinforcing, and back through the 6mm, and back through these four, through your super duo, and pull that. Okay, now you're going to go through the two 15s, through the super duo, through the pearl, and through the super duo. Now I'm not going to do a whole big long bracelet, but I am going to put a couple of more, at least a few more, to try and show you how to embellish the front so your necklace has a really pretty like a little bib on it. Alright, so if you're making this, you're going to continue this right across. You're going to put your 6 rows, 6 components of 4mm, 6 components of 6mm, and 6 components of your 8mm pearls. You're going to do that all the way to the end. So when you get to the end, we're going to start to sew on a closure and then we're going to work our way back, and we're going to give our necklace some curvature. So we have to go all the way through our necklace and all the way back before we do our embellishment here. Okay? Other than that, your necklace will just sit like this, as it does with the bracelet. The bracelet sits nice and straight, and you'll see why when we do the bracelet. You'll see why it sits like that. So in the bracelet, this is how I did this. All right? So I'm going to put a couple more components on here, and I'm going to come back and pretend like we've made the whole entire necklace, and we're going to work our way back down it, okay? I'll be back.